The speed of your life was not an accident. It was a choice made by other people decades before you were born, based on a very specific problem. America is enormous, spread out, car-dependent, and impatient. So somebody built 13 systems to match, not one big invention, 13 targeted fixes. Some are physical, some are digital, some are just a number printed on an envelope. Together, they add up to a machine designed around the idea that you should never have to stop. Here's what it looks like from the inside. Number one, drive-through services for food, banking, and pharmacies. In 1948, a Dairy Queen operator in Springfield, Missouri, drilled a hole in his wall. That's it. No committee, no business plan. He just wanted cars to pull through without parking. And within 20 years, that hole in the wall had restructured how millions of Americans eat every single day. It wasn't laziness that built the drive-through. The American road grid built it because the road grid built a new kind of person, someone who's always between two places, never fully at either one. The car stopped being transportation. It became the location. Number two, zip codes that streamlined mail delivery. On July 1st, 1963, the U.S. Post Office assigned a 5-digit number to every delivery zone in the country and called it the Zone Improvement Plan, ZIP. They sent a cartoon character in a top hat on television to explain it. Nobody watching thought they were seeing the birth of a targeting system. Before zip codes, postal workers sorted mail from memory. They knew the streets, the routes, the neighborhoods. It worked fine until post-war suburbs started multiplying faster than any worker could learn them, and mail volume kept doubling every decade. So the post office built a sorting tool. Direct mail marketers turned it into something else entirely. Number three, self-service gas stations. Before 1973, you pulled into a gas station and stayed in your car. A man in a uniform walked out, filled your tank, checked your oil, wiped your windshield. That was the deal. Then the oil embargo hit, fuel prices spiked, and station owners needed to cut payroll fast. So they handed you the nozzle, dropped the price, a few cents per gallon, and called it a discount. You called it freedom. The labor cost didn't disappear. Number four, interstate highways that reduce long-distance travel times. Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act in 1956 because he'd seen the German Autobahn during World War II and wanted roads that could move troops fast. What he got instead was a machine for sorting Americans by income, and it's been running ever since. The interstates didn't just connect cities, they cut straight through them, and the routes weren't random. Engineers put highways through low-income and minority neighborhoods because land was cheaper there and the people had less political pull. Number five, supermarket shopping carts and large format grocery stores. In 1937, Sylvan Goldman watched customers stop shopping the moment their hand baskets got too heavy, so he welded a wire basket onto a folding chair frame and put wheels on it. Men refused to touch it. They thought it looked weak. Women said it reminded them of a baby carriage. Goldman hired actors to push carts around his store and pretend to shop, and that fixed it. Before the cart, you bought what you could carry. After it, the limit was your car trunk, and every store built after 1937 was designed around that new limit. Number six, barcode scanning at checkout counters. On June 26th, 1974, a cashier at a Marsh supermarket in Troy, Ohio, scanned a 10-pack of Wrigley's Juicy Fruit Gum. First retail barcode scan in history. That pack's in the Smithsonian now, but what the Smithsonian doesn't show you is the decade of industry fights that nearly killed the barcode before it reached that lane. The Universal Product Code took years to agree on because every major grocery chain and food company in America had to accept one single format. And American industry doesn't do that easily. Number seven, automatic garage door openers. C.G. Johnson patented the automatic garage door opener in 1926 in Hartford City, Indiana. Nobody cared much until the 1950s. when attached garages started showing up on every tract house in every new suburb, and suddenly the device had an audience of millions. By the 1980s, architects had stopped designing front doors as the main way into a home. The garage door took over, and that's not a small thing. You leave in a sealed car, drive in a sealed car, pull back into a sealed garage, and never once have to interact with your street unless you decide to. Number 8, online package tracking systems. Before 1986, a late package meant nothing but silence. You knew it was coming sometime this week. You stayed home if it mattered, and if it didn't show up, you called an 800 number and waited while someone looked it up by hand. FedEx built the first real-time tracking system in 1986, and they didn't build it for you. They built it because they needed to see inside their own operation. Number 9, one-click online purchasing popularized by e-commerce platforms. In 1997, Amazon filed a patent for one-click purchasing, and the idea was almost insultingly simple. Store your card and address, assign it to a button, and let you buy without typing anything again. They got the patent. Then they sued Barnes & Noble for letting customers buy with one click too, forcing them to add a second step just to compete. That's not innovation. That's a weapon with a checkout button on it. Before one click, somewhere between 60 and 80% of online shopping carts got abandoned before purchase. Number 10, ATM networks that eliminated most routine bank visits. On September 2nd, 1969, Chemical Bank opened an ATM in Rockville Center, New York, and ran ads that said their bank would open at 9 a.m. and never close again. That was the pitch. What they left out was where the logic of that pitch eventually led. Economists watching ATM rollout in the 1970s and 1980s predicted teller jobs would collapse. They didn't. Number 11, contactless and tap-to-pay card systems. American banks sat on their hands because the old magnetic stripe system was already paid off, and nobody wanted to eat the cost of replacing it. What finally moved them wasn't customer demand. Number 12, warehouse logistics that enable next-day and two-day delivery. In 2005, Amazon Prime launched with a promise of free 2-day shipping for a flat annual fee. They weren't wrong about the math. They were wrong about what was being sold. Amazon wasn't selling shipping, it was selling a new expectation, and it was willing to lose money on every package until that expectation stuck. Number 13, curbside pickup services that combine online shopping with local convenience. Curbside pickup existed before 2020, but barely. Walmart had been testing it since 2014, and a few grocery chains ran small pilots in select markets. And most retailers just watched and waited, unsure if it was worth the investment. Then March 2020 arrived. Within 6 weeks, infrastructure that had been debated for years got built in days.